Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So yesterday we took a look at Hobby Boss's 1/700 scale I-400 submarine. I'm trying to pump out more content because my channel is doing very well, and ever since the new profile pic change, which really suits, I thought, why not take a look at this. I believe I'm the first person to do an English translation of this game. This is 1942 Uss Yorktown, made by Esteban Fernandez, artwork by Pedro Soto, by Looping Games. The game is from a series of 19 something, and this is 42, arguably one of the best ones. And if you can tell, it's a World War II game. It's got solitaire in it. So let's have a look at the box. So close up at the box, you can see an SPD Dauntless, really nice artwork, in USS Yorktown. Turning the box around, you can see 1 to 4 players, 30 minutes, 12 and up. And you've got a nice little Jake seaplane there. On the other side, you've got the carrier, and the same thing on the other side. Oh yeah, nice little bomb emblem. On the back, pause the video if you want to read that. And this is what the game looks like. May 1942, the Coral Sea battle between Japan and the USA was the first naval battle in history where the opposing ships neither sighted nor fired directly upon one another. Take control of an SPD Dauntless, a dive bomber from USS Yorktown, to find and sink the IJN Shoho before time runs out in this fast-paced cooperative game. Shoho is a light Japanese aircraft carrier which was sunk Coral Sea, by the way. So let's open the box and have a look inside. So I have opened this, but I've organised everything in bags. I got this a few years ago. So you get a nice little instruction manual, which is nice. It's in Spanish on one side because this game originates from Spanish, and you can see, there you go. Pretty basic, pretty easy to follow. I'm going to have to re-look it. Not long at all, very short. Yeah, it's also got expansions as well, if you want to use those. And then it's got it in Spanish and German and all the other nice things. The map we'll take a look at last because that's the main component of the game, but as in all 19 games from Looping Games, I think they do one about 1980 where you have to rebuild the city or something, but yeah. This is the map. Really nice portable thing. And inside we have the box components. So you get 7 blue D6 dice. You get a bag of wooden chits. These are what you play for your aircraft. I'll just take one out for you so you know. They're just wooden, nothing special, just a plain token, and then you've got your disc to go with it. This is the expansion bag. I haven't used these yet. And then you've got your Japanese planes. There are 20 different planes. So you have your Jakes, which are your seaplanes. You have your, they say B5N2 Kates. I am a very good person when it comes to history. I can tell you this is not a Kate, this is a B6N Tenzin Jill. And how I know that is by the wing design. But yeah, the Tenzin was the alternative to the Kate. I don't believe Tenzins were used at Coral Sea, but hey, it's a Kate, so we'll call it a Kate. Then we've got the A6M0, which is nice, and I believe this is, judging by the wing design, the A6M5, I think. Definitely not the A6M2, because it's different, but yeah. So you've got 3 different planes, and these will be launching from Shoho and trying to attack your carrier, and we'll get into that in a bit. So we also get some tokens, which are used for gameplay. So we have your bombs, which you'll be using for the cards, and I'll show you how that works. You've got 2 explosion markers for your carriers and Shoho. You've got the carrier Shoho track marker from when you find it. You've got to find the carrier. That's what I really like. You've got to find Shoho. And then you've got your experience markers for each card. And we'll show you how that works. The bombs have a fuel tank on the other side, which gives you an additional 4 fuel, which is nice. And then you've got your fuel markers. So yeah, that's that. And we'll put them back in the bag. Now we're going to take a look at the cards. Okay, so we'll start with the first thing about the cards, the Dauntlesses. So for the Dauntlesses, you have 3 cards. I'm going to zoom out for this just so you can see how it works. So you build your Dauntless like this. Okay. Build your Dauntless like that. This is your SBD Dauntless. On the left side, you have your fuel track, and you will be putting your fuel marker on here. If I can get the tokens out for you. So you put your fuel track here, okay? This isn't a tutorial of how to play the game, this is just an introduction. And for every movement you move, you move this bit. When you enter the yellow zones, that's when you're coming into the danger zone. But you'll be automatically able to get to the carrier. If you hit the red zone, you need to roll dice to determine whether you land or not. When you sight the carrier, you can add a bomb to your SBD Dauntless. Or, if you want to, a fuel tank. And I don't think SBD Dauntlesses carried fuel tanks. Externally, by the way. So, on the other side, we have... Oh, yeah, by the way, this means... For a bomb you have, your dice depletes. And you can play this with as many d6 as you like, but I like playing it with the additional 7. The additional track thing is when you destroy planes, which we'll get into when we get the board, it will go up. And you start off with 3 dice, then you add another fuel, you get 4, and then it goes from here to here, and then you become an ace once you hit 7. Now, your SBD Dauntless can be damaged. If it's damaged, it looks like that. If it's damaged again, it's shot down. And you can also lose planes if you have to ditch in the water. So yeah, those are your planes for the key components of the game. 3 cards make up a Dauntless. The next cards are absolute nightmares. These are Japanese cards. No, they're not. They're Yorktown hit cards. And there are 4 of them in the game. But for the sole purposes of gameplay, I just put 1 in each deck. What this means is if you draw one of these cards, it simulates Kate bombing your carrier, which I really love the artwork. Really nice, glossy, thick cardstock. Not cardstock, but card, you know. Every time you draw one of these, Yorktown takes a hit. It doesn't matter if there's not an archipelago of aircraft, which we'll get to in a minute. It basically means that the planes have bombed your carrier without warning, like a surprise attack, and there's 4 of them in the game, so you want to be careful of that. The next cards are your should I say control cards, and I believe there's 4 of them. So you've got your first card, which is the launching. So this basically says if you move once, you spend 1 fuel, you move 2, you spend 3 fuel, and if you take off, you spend a fuel, and, you know, if you go into this area. The little dials here, which really makes you feel like you're in an aircraft, are so you can keep track, because this is a multiplayer game as well, so you and your buddies can keep track of what each plane's doing, so that's pretty cool. So the next one, they go in order, so you launch, and then you sight, and they're double-sided as well, which is nice. So to sight the carrier, you need a pair of 3s. Yes, pairing is key in this game, rather than rolling just random numbers. So if I rolled a pair of 3s, the search will go up by 1, I get an achievement point. I have to spend a fuel, though, to get an additional dice. I have to. Not you may, you have to. You get a pair of 4s, which is highly unlikely, but if you're lucky enough, 2. And if, you know, another aircraft is in the same zone, which is an orange, and doing the same thing like search, you get an additional dice as well. So that's cool. So they can team up. Next is attack. Attack, you spend a fuel, you get another dice, and if another plane's attacking as well, you get another dice as well, so that's pretty cool. The last is takeoff and landing. So to take off, you know, basically if you're in this zone to take off, you spend fuel. If you land, 3 fuel, I think. No, sorry. So if you launch from the zone, which I'll show you on the map, the takeoff zone as I call it, you spend fuel. If you launch and take off from here to here, you spend 3 fuel. To land, if you have 5 fuel, you land successfully. 4 fuel, you roll a dice, and a pair, you die, you lose, or you crash. You get 3 points taken. You get a pair of 2s, you crash, and you crash again, you're dead. You get a pair of 3s, you successfully land. So now let's take a look at the proper Japanese cards. So the Japanese cards are really cool. And these are basically to show the map. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to get the map and I'll explain the cards. Okay, so the map is quite big. So it unfolds like so. And the map's made from really good quality. And the game's not that big when you think about it. I'm going to just zoom out again so you can see. There you go. So this is the map. This is the map board. And the cards, move the dice away. So this is one of the cards. So you have your Jake seaplane. You have 929 and the seaplanes. So say like when you begin the game, of course you're going to be drawing these cards. And what this basically means is you need to place 2 of the same aircraft on each island. So for example, I have drawn this card, okay? I draw a Jake at Octong Java, which is there, okay? I then draw another Jake at Guadalcanal, okay? And here's the thing, I'm just going to do an example. So here's how the planes can attack your carrier. Now if there were 3 planes which connect from a orange to a red, like an archipelago, the aircraft can attack. And depending on what aircraft's in front, they roll 2 dice. And your carrier is damaged on a pair. Same for Shoho's, a bit difficult to kill. But yeah, that's the premise of gameplay. So yeah, as you can see, basic card. Focus, please. Thank you. Basic card, but yeah. So if you draw one of these cards, it means you have to put 2 planes on an island. And here's the thing, if a plane is occupied by another island, if an island is occupied by another plane, you go up in order. So 9, say like I had 2 on 9, I'll put 1 on 10, for example. But yeah, really nice. The second card is the cake card, same thing, just a different plane. And then we've got, oh yeah, you draw one of these, each plane card has a different ability, so this isn't good. So this shows a picture of Shoho and a -1. So say like I had searched the Shoho, because that's what you need to do, hence the searching thing. You need to get to 3 to sight the Shoho. Unfortunately, Shoho will move out of range. -1 means the search will go down by 1, and that means you've lost Shoho. Really, really cool though. So yeah, that's a example of a card. I think I'm going to show you a different card. Yep. So yeah, you got the zeros as well. There was another card actually. Oh yeah, this one. So when you draw a card that has this on it, this basically means CAP, which is Combat Air Patrol. So when you draw this, automatically 0 fighters will be protecting your carrier from the Shoho, from attacks. And when you reach 4, if you decide to attack the Combat Air Patrol, what you need to do is, unfortunately, you will lose dice. So, yeah, which is really cool. Overall, that is 1942 USS Yorktown. So now let's have a look at the board and the game. Okay, so to wrap the video up, I'm just going to show you the game. So you've got different islands, and you know they'll be launching from planes will be launching from different things. And if ever, as I said before, if there were a combination of planes, doesn't matter what planes they are, well, it sort of does because each plane has different attack capability. If it connects to an archipelago, if for example it's like that, it's still an attack. If it's still like that, it's an attack because it's connecting from an orange to a red. And it's really interesting how it works. I will do a full playthrough and a tutorial of how to play the game. Overall, these are your carriers attack things. So each carrier begins with 0 hits, and you'll be taking hits. Well, hopefully you don't. You reach this, your carrier Yorktown is sunk. To launch planes, you do so often, which is pretty cool. This is the aircraft kill chart. So to kill a Kate, you need a pair of 2s, you get 1 point. To kill a Jake, you need a pair of 3s, you get 2 points. To kill a 0, which are really hard to kill, you need a pair of 4s, and that gives you 3. The planes can attack and bomb your carrier on a pair. To kill Shoho, 1 hit, you need a pair of 4s, you get a point. You need 5 hits, pairs, to do 2 hits, and 6 pairs if you're extremely lucky, 3. But yeah, this is where your combat air patrol go on the carriers, and you get different dice. Overall, that is 1942 USS Yorktown. I'll do a tutorial at some point today, and I shall see you on the seas. Take care, guys. Like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the tutorial.